Hello everyone, it is Liverpool fan reactions after the Reds slump to a penalty shootout defeat to Arsenal in the League Cup. Disappointing end to a pretty disappointing match, let's be honest. Yes, let's get to some of your thoughts. There's a couple of ways in which you can interact with the show. You can tweet in at the Redmen TV. Ross has put a tweet out there just asking for people's thoughts. But if you're live on YouTube, it is members only chat. If you want to get in touch with me directly, if you've got something you want to address, then just write Mate. And then you'll comment after it, and then I'll know you're trying to get in touch with me, and I'll come to the YouTube live comment in a moment. But first, just want to say welcome to Cy Banstead, who's joined our YouTube memberships as a club legend. What a man you are. I just have one quick comment from there, and it comes from Jonathan Cook, who says, you guys called it. The midfield didn't work. Salah and Taki both had to come too deep because they weren't being fed. Wilson pretty poor until the last 30. Yeah, that is the thing. And it'll look like a lack of endeavour or work rate sometimes. I think Taki Minamino was tireless, but until the point where it looked like he just ran out of juice, to be honest. Right, let's go over to Twitter. Chris says it's a trophy at the end of the day. We exist to win them, but out of them all, I guess this is the least important. Heads up, move on. Look, you're right. It is the least important, but I genuinely, like, this is the first season in ages where I've been like, we should have a good fist of this. I'm not sure I would have felt the same in December. I believe I'm right in saying, like, the quarterfinals is like right in the middle of the Christmas period. It's leading up to in the days leading up to Christmas, which is not probably what we'll want there and then, and we might have a bit more, we might be feeling a bit more relaxed about this then when Liverpool are struggling to get a really good side out for the Premier League games that matter. But I can't be concerned about the future. You can't live like that. I would much rather have Liverpool have gone through, so I am disappointed, and I was really on edge for those penalties, more than I thought I would normally have been. Daniel Renfield, can someone explain what Origi's penalty was? Took one step and passed it to the keeper. One of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Yeah, it was terrible. We've seen some weird penalty techniques. We talked about this a lot. You just can't generate the power. You've got to go. I think you've got to go high if you're going to do that. You can't go low. You can't. It's a terrible penalty. It's an absolutely terrible penalty from Divock. Cam says, reckon Klopp is buzzing. They don't have to play this competition anymore. Love how much he hates it. He's actually on my screen right now. He doesn't look particularly happy, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, we'll see on that. I think Klopp likes winning silverware, and I think maybe it's quarters, semis. It's 3 games stood between Liverpool and winning a piece of silverware. It's the easiest it's ever been to win in terms of the amount of football you have to play. So I'm not really sure myself on that, to be honest, mate. But yeah, Saif Ali, some really good prospects, and it's good to see Adrian perform despite the haters. Look, at people, there'll always be people who have problems with various players and what have you. It is what it is. Adrian, I thought, was really good today. Made a couple of really important saves one penalty. He's desperately unlucky not to get the other one. That getting in the heads of Mohamed El Nene stuff was glorious. Absolutely glorious. And I feel a bit for him, really, because again, it's just less opportunities that he's going to have. I mean, hopefully. I mean, that sounds weirdly perverse. I want him to have more games, but I just don't want them to be in the Premier League. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame for Adrian. And yeah, there's just no point in hating Liverpool players. It's a complete waste of energy. Hate Man United players instead. That's what they're there for. Right, let me go to comments here from Harry. Harry Oliver 07 says, unlucky not to win in the 90. Can't complain too much about losing on pens, really. Yeah, I think especially given the Milner thing, Milner handles it in the box. If VAR's on that, it's a penalty, and they probably scored it because they're really good at penalties. So yeah, we were the better team. Liverpool were the better team. I don't think Liverpool were brilliant, but they were the better team throughout the entirety of the match. So they will be unlucky, feel unlucky in that regard. But look, yeah, penalty shootouts is a penalty shootout. You can lose penalty shootouts. It's football. Brian Swanson, hey, Leno's class. He was the best player on the pitch. Origi was absolutely nowhere. Wilson uninspired. Jota should have stayed on and rather let hungry youngsters play. Grujic did well too. Reece was 100% class. Guna's lucky to be through. Unreal. Yeah, spot on. Wilson has his moments. Yeah, he's brilliant in the build up to Grujic's shot that gets saved by Leno. I thought he buzzed around. I think it's worth remembering on Harry Wilson, by the way. He's not played a game of football for us in 3 years. He hasn't played a game of football for us I don't think he played in pre-season. He's not played this season. So we've just dropped him into a 90-minute game of intense cup football against another pretty good side, out of position for large spells of the game. When you consider all those factors, he was all right. It's just, I don't think his penalty's bad either. I think his penalty's actually quite good. It's hard and it's low. If he sells the keeper a bit more, maybe he gets away with it. I don't know. I think it's maybe a bit straightforward. He should probably maybe just put a bit more. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't dig Wilson out too much, to be honest. Grujic was fine, as are two really, really good efforts in that game. And Origi, yeah. Is that the last game Origi's going to play for Liverpool? It's quite possible, which would be a shame. I don't like to see it. I've seen a lot of negative comments about Origi. What's the point? Again, what's the point? You can be disappointed, but I feel there'll be more people taking it too far tonight. No need. Look, Divok's been a fantastic servant for the club. He's given us some moments none of us will ever forget. This was a forgettable game for Divock. I think we should all just forget about it because he deserves for us to forget it, although it is a bit soon. So look, if it's still raw, fine. It was a crap performance from Divock Origi and a crap penalty. We're allowed to say that. We just make sure we're not pricks about it. Pat Cronin. Disappointing because it's one less competition for the fringe players to get game time. Should have won it in normal time. Heads up and on to the weekend. Yeah, I think they're all really, really good points there from Pat. We'll jump over to the YouTube members. Fraser Jenkins sent a little 79p super chat in. Thanks so much, Fraser. That's lovely of you. Michael McGuinness, he says, gutted, absolutely fucking gutted. Hate losing on pens, especially to Arsenal. We've done it twice this season now. League Cup is forever outcasted, but it's still a trophy that we are record holders. Look, this is the point. The League Cup is Liverpool's competition with the record holders of the League Cup. This club clearly, generally speaking, takes the League Cup pretty seriously, but less so. Jurgen Klopp, and it does. Look, when you prioritise things, it does fall down. I think you can tell Villa is a priority. And this is all talk about what we could have done and what we should have done and what who could have stayed on and not stayed on. I saw people making a Jota comment. I agree. I personally think Jota, we'd have been much better for keeping Jota on. Salah wasn't great, but we'd have been better for keeping Salah on. But we've got Aston Villa on Sunday. We've played. This will be 3 games in 7 days, which is too much football for your top players. And it tells you what it is. And some of it's sports science, but also, if this was the Champions League or this was if this was a knockout game of the Champions League, you don't make those substitutions. You don't. You risk having a slightly weaker side for the weekend, I think. So, it kind of is what it is, and we have to live with that. Buddha with 100 squiggles, thank you so much. I thought Grujic was excellent in possession. Arsenal couldn't get the ball off him. Reece was also really good, should have won the game in 90. Yeah, I thought Grujic grew into it, and I said I think the game kind of fell to his speed level as it went on, which is fine. I don't mean to be critical of him. He looked a bit lumbering at times, but again, he's another lad who needs games to get up to match fitness. He hasn't had that. He hasn't played 5 games back to back to be at his best. So all told, when you look at the context of that, I think it was a great performance from Grujic, and he has, that header, he should have been on the score sheet. It's a fantastic header, and it's a world-class save from Leno that denies him. So yeah, very good stuff indeed. And Big Unzi, last comment here, says, if Shaq's off, where does this leave Divock and Wilson? Do we need to bring anyone else in? That's a big question. And it's an important question. Now, obviously, one less cup to focus on. We've got the FA Cup will come in January, of course. But the games are thick and fast. It's 2 games a week from now until pretty much that, until that game, probably that game week in December, maybe. But there might even be a league game in there still. I don't know at the moment. So, yeah, look, if Brewster's going and Shaqiri's going and, if Will... We might well need one more. A bit of a shame, but yeah, for whatever reason, it wasn't quite right for Liverpool today. I think you've got to say you can lose penalties, and Leno was outstanding. And sometimes that's just the way it happens in footy. So no reason to be too disheartened. There are enough positive performances. We're going to talk about those. If there's anyone you want us to talk about in particular, let me know in the comments. We're going to be doing the instant match reaction show in a moment. Chris and I just chatting through some of the bits and pieces from that match in a bit more detail. Then tomorrow, we're going to dive into it properly with the Final Word show. If there's some big discussions to be had, that is the show in which it will be had. Could join us there on the redmentv.com. Go there, sign up, and you're going to get that show. You're going to get the Reds news round. roundup show, Reds transfer roundup show, I should say, from this week. Every final word show is always on there, and there's loads of exclusives as well to keep you entertained and keep you smiling, even when the Reds aren't winning every competition. We're going to be there, and we're going to keep you guys happy to the best of our ability. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. See you on the IMR in a few minutes.